You replayed a 5-second conversation for 5 hours. 5 seconds out loud. 5 hours in your head. You said one slightly weird thing at 2 in the afternoon, and your brain scheduled the replay for 2 in the morning. They texted back, okay, not okay, not okay, just okay. And suddenly, you're a detective on a case nobody filed. You draft a reply. Delete it. Rewrite it. Read it out loud. Delete it again. You lie in bed running conversations that will never happen. Arguments you'll never have. Apologies no one asked for. And the whole time, it feels careful, responsible, smart even. But you're exhausted. And nothing has actually been solved. So let's talk about what's really happening in there. Here's the first thing nobody tells you. Overthinking feels exactly like problem solving. It isn't. Real problem solving has an end. It reaches a decision, and it stops. Overthinking just loops. Same thought, same fear, new lap. It's not your mind working. It's your mind spinning, wheels turning, car going nowhere. Hours pass. You're drained. And the problem is sitting exactly where you left it. So why would a smart brain do something this useless? Because to your brain, uncertainty isn't discomfort. It's danger. Rewind a couple 100,000 years. You're a human standing on an open plain. You hear a rustle in the tall grass. Two options. It's the wind, or it's a lion. The ancestor who shrugged and assumed wind. Sometimes that ancestor got eaten. The ancestor who flinched and assumed lion. That one lived long enough to have kids. So you are the descendant of the warriors. The calm, relaxed ones aren't in your family tree. Your brain is a smoke alarm built by people who survived fires. And a smoke alarm has exactly one job. Better to scream at burnt toast 1,000 times than stay silent for one real fire. That instinct kept your ancestors alive. But here's the problem. Your lions changed. Your hardware didn't. Now the rustle in the grass is an unread message. A reply that just says, K. A. We need to talk. A boss who walked past and didn't smile. A friend who took 6 hours to text back. None of these can actually hurt you. But your alarm can't tell the difference. So it does the only thing it knows. It runs the threat again, and again, and again. And here's where overthinking gets clever. It offers you a deal that's almost impossible to refuse. It whispers, think hard enough, and you can control this. Replay it enough, and you'll find what you missed. Imagine every version, and nothing can surprise you. It feels like preparation. It feels like safety. But it's a trick. Because thinking about a problem and solving a problem are two completely different things. You can stare at a locked door for 10 hours. The door does not unlock. At some point, you need a key, not another thought. And here's the cruelest part of all. Overthinkers usually aren't slow, they're sharp. The mind that's good at analyzing the world is also very good at analyzing you. It takes its sharpest tool and turns it inward. Every word you said, every face someone made, every what if dissected at 3 a.m. Your gift quietly becomes the thing eating you alive. And then it gets worse. You start to trust the spiral. If I'm this worried, there must be a real reason. But anxiety is not evidence. A loud alarm does not mean a big fire. Left alone, this hardens into a loop. And the loop costs you. You replay the past. So you suffer it twice. Once when it happened. Once in rehearsal. You simulate the future. So you live the disaster early. A disaster that, most of the time, never even comes. You lie awake because the alarm has no off switch at night. You can't choose. Every option splits into 100 endings. So you freeze. And calling it thinking lets you feel busy while standing still. The people around you just see someone quiet, distant. And slowly, you start avoiding things. Texts, calls, choices. not because you're lazy, but because each one starts a brand new lap in your head. So, how do you break a loop older than civilization? Not by telling yourself to stop. Stop overthinking works as well as stop hearing. You don't argue with an alarm. You give it what it's actually asking for. And it isn't more thinking, it's a decision. Uncertainty is the fuel. A decision is the off switch. Watch what happens the second you actually choose. The 100 imagined futures collapse into one real one. Action collapses possibility. You do the thing, and there's nothing left to simulate. There's just what happened. And almost every time, it's smaller and kinder than you feared. So here's the practical part. A few small reps. 1. When you catch the spiral, ask one question. Is there a step here? Or am I just rehearsing? If there's a step, take it. Send the text. Make the call. If there's no step, the thinking isn't work. It's pain wearing a costume that looks like work. 2. Give the worry a time and a place. 10 minutes. A notebook. Write the fear down. On paper, the lion usually turns back into grass. 3. Name it. This is my alarm, not the truth. You can hear the alarm and not evacuate the building. 4. The hardest. Let the question stay unanswered. You don't have to win the argument in your head. You're allowed to close the courtroom with no verdict. So hear this. You were never broken. You were never too sensitive. You have a brain that loves you so much, it never stops scanning for things that might hurt you. It's not your enemy. It's an overprotective friend who never learned to relax. You don't silence it. You thank it. And then you teach it slowly. A text is not a lion. One decision at a time. One closed courtroom at a time. The quiet that comes after isn't emptiness. It's the first time in a long while your mind feels safe. If your brain needed to hear this tonight, you're in the right place. Subscribe. Stay a while. I'll see you in the next one.